Welcome back. It's time to test Overwatch. This is after you install Windows from Boot Camp and you're able to install Overwatch. We're going to see how well it performs on the MacMini 2018. If you have any questions, also please put it in the comments. Again, I appreciate if you subscribe. This will allow me to test more games in the future. Thank you. So we're running at 1440 by 900 here. I have all the settings to be low as humanly possible. VSync is off. I put the display-based FPS. Alright, let's give it a try. It is doing about 60 frames per second. I don't know if you can see it. I'll make sure you can. Oh, the graphics is quite terrible. But at least we're doing almost 70 frames per second, so we're gonna see how we're gonna make this even better. Since we have more wiggle room, let's go to... Let's go here. It is running 85 frames per second, which is fantastic. Of course, the image quality is kind of terrible, but hey. Thank you for that. Let us try higher resolution. Let's go 1600. No, let's start a bit slow. No, that's a weird resolution.
Enemy turret here. Taking the objective. A little help.
1600 by 1900. Oh yeah, much better. I did, however, lower the graphics settings, so we're gonna have to improve them since we're still getting good frames per second. We're getting 70 frames per second, which is shocking. It's a bit laggy. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to ask this thing to restore defaults. I'm going to see how that's gonna look like. Okay, so that's terrible. .30 frames per second during action. But as you can see, the graphics are quite bad. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move this a little bit higher, even though we're 30 frames. Okay, that's why it was on. Okay, so now we can actually go to 60 frames per second. But the graphics, I'm gonna put it to high. It's gonna ask me to restart, so let's do that. Alright, so as we can see here, we changed it to high, but we kept the resolution 1366, and we're gonna see if that does make it look good, because it was actually surprisingly playable. Except for the graphics, which leaves a lot to be desired. It's a bit better. I'm getting 73 frames per second. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can bump up the resolution even more, since we have more wiggle room. Let's go 1400 by 900. I think that's a normal resolution. Ask me go to 1900, like that's gonna work. Okay, there you go. Is that what you want? That's the optimal resolution. Let's do it. Oh my god, I'm doing 60 frames per second. Oh wow, 46 frames per second. And I'm kicking ass. Actually, that's not so bad. I'm on high resolution. I put it to the highest 1900, I think. Let me see. So it is on high. It is running, 1900, and that's the setting that it's using. Surprisingly, running I mean, it's running is not bad. So let's see if I can just cheat a little bit. Let's go 1680. 56 frames per second. Let's get in action. Frames per second. (44, 43). Actually, it's not so bad, and the graphics don't look quite horrible. It is actually very playable, and I'm doing 46 frames per second. Again, I didn't tweak it, incredibly well. What I'm doing is I'm just more or less selecting defaults. I mean, I can drop it to medium and get a little bit higher frames per second, but I mean, it's around 50 or 60. I'm gonna have to ask to do a reset. Let's do that. It was doing pretty good on medium, on high. Now we're doing medium, and it's hovering around 60 frames per second. I mean, look, you can tell the graphics is not, the best in the world, but it is definitely playable. Doing 65 frames per second. (71), 66 frames per second. Doing 66 frames per second even during action. It dropped to 64. Not bad. 66 frames per second. So you are playing with no lag. You are playing very reasonable, I mean actually excellent frames per second. You are definitely dropping on the screen. I didn't really expect it to be doing this well, to be honest with you. See, 64 frames per second even during all this action, so that is very good. And here's the setting I have here. 1680 by 1050, I have it medium. I did go high. Let's see if I can change the textures. No, that will require me to restart. Filter, fog, modeling. Let's change the modeling to ultra. Nah. Most of this is going to require me to restart, but it's definitely playable, definitely fast. And honestly, I didn't think that the GPU would be doing that good. But yeah, I mean, look, it's not exactly the highest resolution you're going to be playing, but you can absolutely play this. Absolutely. All right, moving on to the next game.